Good evening, everyone, and welcome to an all-new episode of The Business List, your source for stories inside the party, across the country, and around the world. We are LP Alliance, an intercaucus coalition rebuilding the Libertarian Party and revolutionizing the liberty movement. My name is Amanda Griffiths. I'm joined by Rose Leatherman. I'm joined by Jake Porter. I'm not joined by Kyle Davis. He's just here.
However,
everyone, how are you?
We are joined by all of you.
Woo!
It was a lot of work fixing all those wires Kyle chewed through last week.
I was hungry for wires.
It was. Basically, I had to just get new wires and wire them
Week-long project.
Yeah. I'm glad that Jeremy Ficklin, who is our wonderful and brave, intrepid producer, was able to help us out. We had some elections a couple days ago. That was interesting.
We had elections a couple of days ago?
Except for Kentucky. The Secretary of State in Kentucky had to put out a statement saying that Kentucky did not have elections that year and that if you're a resident of Kentucky, you can't vote for the mayor of New York City or the governor of Virginia. Apparently there are people who are not aware of this fact, and these people vote, or at least attempt to vote.
I like it. I like that we're nationally minded. I do. I like that we're thinking of all of us as a country and as people. So yeah, a number of blue victories, a number of Democratic victories, and we'll get some of the Libertarian victories as well, and the Libertarian runs. But yeah, in Virginia, we had Democrats winning big. In a lot of states that had previously gone for Trump, we had Democrats winning big. And Rose, of course, I understand that you are soon going to be sent to the gulag for not being in compliance with New York City's new socialist mayor. Even though you're not in New York City proper, their tendrils reach far.
Well, okay, he's simultaneously a far-left communist, but also a jihadist who wants to bring about Sharia law somehow. And this makes perfect sense. This makes perfect sense to the people claiming this.
It makes more sense when you realize that he's a genuine failed rapper, and so when people say Sharia law, they're misreading Shakira law.
Shakira law.
So that's what he's trying to do.
I'll run
really
for
do.
mayor,
I see more parts
or wherever.
Yeah. His hips don't lie, as they say. And neither do the tips that he refuses to pay the waiters. Yes. So. Everyone, some red waves were shattered by blue walls. I don't know the cliches. What does this tell us? It's been a long week.
What
does this tell us?
I'm really excited that you said blue walls on fucking air.
The right boot is currently stamping on everyone's faces, and they're not happy about this. So they decided that the left boot might be slightly, maybe it'll stamp slightly less hard on their faces. Give it another couple of years and they'll decide the right boot, maybe that won't stamp so hard on their faces. But in actuality, every time one boot gets voted for, it just stamps harder and harder on the person's face.
I think that you've come up with like the greatest way to describe the uniparty of all time, which is that they are like matching sides, Globetrotters, Nikes, red on the one side, blue on the other. And so if you look at it from the one side, it's red. And if you look at it from the other side, it's blue. So as it steps on you and the other one wants to step on you, it's the same exact shoe, but you're seeing it from the other angle. So it's the other color.
Interesting.
It's very deep.
All right, everyone. So Kyle, since you're feeling so deep, why don't you give us your analysis first on what this means for Republicans and Democrats going forward?
I see one of two things happening. The socialism drives all the costs up, which is a thing that we'd expect to see long term.
Are you calling Democrats socialists? I'm sorry, I wasn't... Or you're just talking about New York?
Mamdani.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was talking about generally, but okay, if you want to just be specific and focus on New York.
I mean, most of the country, in my opinion, Democrats or Republicans winning, don't affect much.
Mm-hmm.
New York getting an actual socialist mayor is interesting.
Right.
And so I think the other possibility is that all of the more conservative folks run from New York City, which then means that costs like for housing go down because there's less competition. And then Mamdani is looked at as a hero, leading to more growth of this communist rhetoric,
So
Which
he actually
means
does
more
accomplish
damage.
what he said he was going to do.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
The conservative shot here is so stupid in the thing that it does that it makes him successful and makes him look.
Well, see, my initial assessment was that he was allowed to win the primaries because, well, I mean, Cuomo clearly, he went from being a much beloved supposed savior of New York State during COVID to having to step down suddenly over sexual abuse allegations. So I initially thought, okay, this guy clearly pissed off someone powerful. I thought that Mamdani was allowed to win just as a means of keeping Cuomo out, and that it was going to be Sliwa that was allowed to win. Either,
Oh, wow, that would be a long
either
shot.
I was wrong, or Cuomo threw a wrench in their plans when he refused just to drop out of the race and continued to run anyway. But
Sliwa's interesting. I think Sliwa entertains me. First of all, saying his name entertains
Yeah.
me. I've never done it until just now, but
And
Sliwa,
he has
that
cats.
sounds fun. He has cats. There we go. What's not to love? What are you laughing at, Kyle?
I love this show. I love this show. And he has
but
cats.
yeah, I mean, I
Does
said
Mamdani
this
have
before, but
cats,
I feel
Rose?
like-
What can you
I
tell
feel like I've
Mamdani's
disappointed
pets?
people before by saying, look, I mean, his policies, if implemented, they would ultimately serve to benefit the oligarchs who are actually running things,
Mhm.
and that's the only reason why he's allowed to win. And also in New York City, okay, people who are not from here do not fathom just how thoroughly corrupt the New York State electoral system is, and that is doubly true for New York City. Okay, if he's the mayor of New York City, he's gonna do what the mafia tells him to do, or he's gonna,
Oh, is Mafia still around?
oh yeah, people are
Okay.
like, no, he's it's because he has the support of the labor unions. You sweet summer children, the mafia controls the labor unions. That has always been the case. But again, I mean, ultimately, I suspect he's just going to end up being an Obama type figure. Okay, he has the rhetoric
Almost.
that appeals to young people who recognize the correct problems but don't necessarily understand the mechanisms behind them. But yeah, will he actually be able to implement any of this? Most likely not. And if he is, it's because somebody is allowing him to do it. Things like state-run grocery stores would benefit the mega corporations who write policy and would be able to lobby to have their products sold.
I
It puts the bodegas right out of business. Like,
Right. Exactly.
That's
Like, I've been
the
saying this
dumbest
for a
thing.
while. It would be crappy corn-based and soy-based fiat food.
just like everyone that voted for
You wouldn't
Mamdani
be
in
able to,
first
yeah.
place.
Like, yeah, all this crap about how, oh, meat is bad because it raises your carbon footprint. They don't have to outright ban it. It just won't be approved for sale in state-run grocery stores. And because state-run grocery stores will be able to sell things at artificially low prices, they will outcompete all privately owned grocery stores in the area. So it's not that it will be illegal to eat a steak. You just won't be able to find anyone who can sell you a steak in the area where you live. And then
But then
Or
you're
the,
telling me that food deserts happen, in which case we've again come back to the
right.
Democrats.
And I mean, rent freezes, look, I understand why they sound appealing because people can't afford to pay their rent and people can't afford the cost of living. People can't afford to get by. However, raising rent when things like property taxes and utilities costs keep skyrocketing, okay, that's just, that's just going to result in less housing because very few landlords can afford to rent at a loss, so they're going to be forced to sell off their units to giant hedge funds that want to own everything, and that's just going to cause further consolidation and further opportunity for price gouging.
I don't know why he and Trump are feuding so much. It seems like they're both kind of working toward the same thing. You know, we've got price floors.
Right.
We've
So
got,
even right. Well, that's
state
okay.
entrenchment.
That's what's so funny. Because Republicans love their economic intervention policies, and they love their out of control spending. Like you don't see them really criticizing his specific policies very much. So they have to make up shit about him being a jihadist and wanting Sharia law. And they'll call him a communist, but they won't actually describe his policies. They'll just say, oh, he's a communist, because that will, of course,
that's just how
win
they
over the
describe all
boomer.
Muslims.
Right. That's just something they say because that gets the boomer conservatives worked up.
It is. It's interesting though. So, I haven't watched the entirety of his victory speech, but I've watched some of it, and it's really funny because there were a few things that he's saying that sounded like they came from our prior episode of Are You Smarter Than a Politician? Genuinely, the phrase "no problem too large for government to solve, no problem too small for government to care about" is uttered as though that's a good thing. The government cares about all your problems, guys. That sounds like something that Kyle would have said is Frida Kahlo.
I quit watching The Mayor of New York whenever one of them murdered a groundhog, so I just don't.
Wait.
Murdered groundhogs.
He did. He dropped the groundhog and killed the groundhog.
Oh, no.
And so I just try not to watch him.
He was the guy who ran on the promise he was going to outlaw carriage horses. Like he had this weird crusade about carriage horses. And it was actually because he just happened to be buddy-buddy with a land developer who really wanted the property that the stable sat on. But yeah, he claimed to be an animal lover, but clearly not because he killed groundhogs.
Cronyism all the way down. Well, the groundhog was a wrecker and was wrecking the development project.
That must have been it.
Yep.
The groundhog was a carriage driver.
Yes.
I want to read one other snippet from this acceptance speech because it's incredible.
Okay.
The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said, I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity. For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Fingers bruised from lifting boxes on the warehouse floor, palms calloused from delivery by handlebars, knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not the hands that have been allowed to hold power, and yet over the last 12 months you have dared to reach for something greater. Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it. The future is in our hands.
In this man's shamefully uncalloused palms? He's never had a job! He's never had a job!
He's a socialist. You expect him to have a job?
Sometimes, they'll at least have worked at a restaurant during college. Has he ever waited
They
at a
have
table?
to understand the plight of the working man by
Has he
having worked as
washed
a
a
cashier
dish?
once.
Any dish? Has he washed a single dish?
He's watched
Well,
that
does
Jobs
he know
TV show. He knows what it's like.
Does he know what groceries are, though? Does he at least know what groceries are, and does he know whether or not you need to show ID to buy groceries?
Oh, you do. Every time you go to the gas station, I've worked in a lot of grocery stores, managed grocery stores, and you definitely have to show ID every time you walk in there. Just the
Mr.
thing. They
T.
scan your
over
ID
here
before you-
managing
I
grocery
mean, the
stores.
thing is, that's what
For
Trump.
shame. The right thing to do is not to work.
He does make a pretty good burn on Cuomo, though.
It's not
Well,
hard.
that's easy to do.
It's not
I
difficult.
mean,
I wish Andrew Cuomo only the best in private life, but let tonight be the final time I utter his name as we turn the page on a politics that abandons the many and answers only to the few.
yeah. See,
Good job,
Look.
Mom Donnie.
again, I don't think he's going to be any worse than recent Democrats, and I've been enjoying seeing the meltdowns, and I'm just happy to see Cuomo lose. Okay, this was the guy we had to listen to
Really
every
good
single
to
morning
watch
to
Cuomo
find out if
lose.
we were allowed to leave our houses during COVID.
Yeah, I like the right now supporting him, though,
his
Rose.
voice enrages me. Anyway, go ahead.
The right hated him so much. He was the original person in COVID that they absolutely hated. He was killing grandma. And now they're like, oh, you got to vote for him.
Oh, he actually did kill grandma, though.
We
He
got
killed
people
grandma,
who killed
and then you
grandmothers.
gotta-
We got people who killed grandmothers. Mom
But
Donnie's
you got to
gonna kill the
vote for the
working
grandmother.
class.
You got to vote for the grandmother killer over the socialist, though, right?
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
with
If
those
you
choices,
leave your
you're gonna
house,
vote
you're
for either
killing
one.
grandma, but he actually killed grandma.
Fucking Phil.
Let's do FMK, Groundhog's Grandma, the Working Class.
Well, we know that he would choose to kill the groundhog, and he would fuck the working class. So
No, that's De Blasio is killing Groundhog. Cuomo's killing Grandma.
There was a
Donnie's
thing
gonna work
about,
the
I believe that
Or rabbits,
Giuliani
depending.
killed some squirrels. There's a thing, I believe, I'll have to look that one up. I believe
I
there's a
think
thing about
doesn't
him.
he part squirrel?
I thought it was pigeons, but
I
that
thought he was
Pigeons,
part
pigeons
yeah,
are
squirrel.
pigeons are basically sky squirrels. I mean, they're more like sky rats, but hey, they're cute. I don't
Sky
I
puppies.
don't dislike pigeons. But yeah, apparently they're considered
Spring
pests, and
is
New York
here.
has had campaigns of eradication directed at them before.
Okay, guys, what does this mean we can expect for 2026?
So there was one thing that in the town that I lived in before, Council Bluffs, Iowa. They had a Republican mayor for the longest time, and he was defeated. Now, the mayor's races are nonpartisan, right? But they are partisan. The parties heavily influence him as a city of 60,000 people outside of Omaha, and he lost by 1% to the Democrat. There were many cases across Iowa where school board races went that way, so things that you could say are nonpartisan, but the parties are definitely involved in them. Then you had Virginia, who I couldn't have predicted a better result for the Democrats on that. So going into it, the Democrats are in a much better position. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens now. Virginia is going to redistrict. They're going to gerrymander their state. California approves their gerrymander. Texas will gerrymander. North Carolina will. And we're going to end up with something really interesting happening. The Republicans may have screwed themselves over, though, because some of these districts are not going to be as strong, and they may end up not gaining as many seats as the Democrats, but we don't really know yet. But it creates a real bad problem where people in states are not going to have representation anymore, red or blue, that whoever has the majority is just going to be basically a winner take all for Congress.
So yeah, it does not look good at this hour, but I mean, every election is a referendum on the present system. Fine,
right? And it's nice to see a referendum on at least things like Trump's ICE and DHS private army.
But
and
I don't think this
Mamdani,
improves
like one area where I will respect Mamdani is that he has said that he's not going to cooperate with Trump's personal Gestapo agents if they're sent into New York City. Well, Cuomo, on the other hand, happily
he's just going to use NYPD also.
Happily,
exactly. That's what I was going to say. Like, no, but he's going to defund NYPD. So I don't understand who's going to be doing what.
He's like, if you vote for Mamdani, Trump is going to send feds into the city because I'm too much of a little bitch to stand up to him, and I will cooperate fully. But Mamdani, he said he's not going to cooperate, so therefore Trump is going to invade the city.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I don't see any of this getting better, right? I see the Republicans doubling down on all of their insanity, and then I see the Democrats using their power to retaliate against the insanity, which also, leaves most people down and out, and is a curb on their freedom, just as the Republicans doing it is a curb on their freedom.
Well, the Republicans, they're looking at this and they're saying, "Oh, is it Trump that's wrong?" No, it's the voters who are wrong. We just need Trump on a ballot. Their takeaway from this is that Trump was not on the ballot, and that's why they lose.
Yeah. And again, this is what happens when the party becomes about the candidate. It's exactly what happens. We did have some libertarian candidate victories, and the LP X account is dutifully posting about many of them. We had a lot of libertarian campaigns as well. I really like seeing libertarians win. It doesn't matter the position. At the same time, I could... What?
It solves the blue walls.
At the same time, I couldn't tell you what most of the positions that libertarians are winning like what most of them are. I couldn't tell you who the person or what the party of the person who occupies that position where I live is. Most people don't know what their local comptroller does, much less know whether their local comptroller is a Democrat or Republican or Libertarian or a Democratic Socialist.
I mean, New York City had a Libertarian candidate running for one of the districts, Council 39, who ended up with I think he got over 2.5%. I think he got around 2.8 or so. So anything over 2% for Libertarian candidate is considered progress in this state.
Yeah. Which, I mean, again, it's a great way to get libertarian messaging out there. Yeah. I think the higher volume, or rather the higher visibility races, the higher visibility positions are the ones that most people pay attention to. Right. They know who's running for those positions. And then if we also concentrate on nabbing those, even if we don't get that electoral victory, we get a lot of the PR victory. We get a lot of the membership victory. We actually get ideology out into the public square, which you don't do during a comptroller race, and you don't do during an unopposed campaign.
Either, yeah,
If you're-
run
if you're-
as a libertarian to get the message out there and recruit, or run as whatever party you have to in a local, actually winnable race, say whatever you have to, and then start nullifying shit once you're in office. It's one or the other, in my opinion.
I'm sort of with Jocelyn. I even think that a school board is kind of understandable. You can get some talking points out there, right? But you're not listening to ideological talking points in a lot of these races. You are listening. You want to listen to them, and there's a lot of visibility on them when you're talking about mayor, when you're talking about governor, when you're talking about senator, or you're talking about various reps. So if we focus on those, and again, we also don't focus on ideological talking points when you have a non-contested race. If you're the only person who's running, then there's no need to spread the message on anything. So it's pointless. There is no PR victory in an uncontested campaign. There's no campaign. So at the end of the day, I would like to see us spending our resources, and a lot of times libertarians, the LP doesn't do enough to fund candidates, period. We should be spending our resources there on those higher visibility races where we can actually get out talking points and pose a contest and have a contest posed against us.
I'm glad for all the libertarian victories. I really am. But at the same time, this is something that should be happening at the local level. Maybe the state Libertarian Party, definitely the county party should be focused on. The national party needs to focus on the congressional races, the big races, get the libertarian message out there and actually stand up to what's going on, because sure as hell the Democrats can't do it. And we're failing at that because we're too busy talking about school board and city council races that maybe if we wait 100 years, we'll actually get some success with. It's not going to work. It's not fast enough. We're at the verge of the republic is collapsing. Institutions are collapsing, and we're here focused on our school board races. It's great that people are focused in their local community. Don't get me wrong, but the national party has got to do something bigger and bolder than that. Because this is
Yeah.
nobody cares about your school board race, and I'm sorry. It's like and even going back to whenever, and I think it was a good project, but the can you someone remind me what that project was where they tried to elect libertarians, and it was good that they did it. I'm glad they did. Frontier
The Free State Project.
It's been a lot of projects.
Tried under several different names.
The Frontier Project, and that was good, but at the same time, people asking me to get excited about a race in Wyoming. I don't live in Wyoming. I don't travel to Wyoming if I can help it.
Well, why don't you angrily call your Secretary of State asking why the polls are closed and you can't vote in Wyoming local elections?
There is that.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know who we cut off. If we cut off Jake, if we cut off Kyle, I don't care if we cut off Kyle. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm in agreement. When you're running uncontested, you don't get to get the talking points out there because there's no stakes, right? People aren't watching, and also you don't have the earned media, right, of a high visibility race where there are cameras on you. So again, I'd like to see us retool our electoral efforts slightly. I agree with Jake that national needs to be focusing on these larger races, and the maybe if I log out and log back in, that could help. I'm talking to HVAC Soldier, but yeah, it's the local parties and the state parties focus on that more local level, and national, when it comes to elections, focus on the larger elections. It would also help in a major way with the funding.
I would like to see things also done with outside of the Libertarian Party, like the Frontier Project done outside of the scope of the LNC. Some of these things done a little bit differently because they are, as Joe points out, they're great projects. They're great to have happen, and we need to have this stuff happen. But we need to have the LNC focus on the federal races, the federal communications, and getting the message out. And also running the party and trying to have them go through and help with school board races is something we've been trying to do for the past couple decades now, it seems, and it's not working. So I would really like to see some of this taken out of the hands of the LNC and we put back into, PACs and other organizations that do this work.
Right.
Right. Well, to answer HVAC soldier, it's Amanda looks dubbed because she's me, so we had to pre-record her. So
Yeah,
sometimes the sound doesn't
exactly.
exactly line up perfectly.
Well, and also, like, I have to switch back and forth on the audio, pushing the button correctly, and
No,
it's
no,
just this
you're
whole
not
mess.
me. I'm you. Or
That's
I'm confused.
that's
Now I'm
true.
confused. But I mean, ultimately, we're all just Nick Sarwark anyway. So
Yeah, it's
none of us
Nick
are
is
real.
Nick is asleep at the wheel at managing my particular avatar account, so that might be part of the issue. In general, the conservative movement seems to be having a bit of a problem, and I say this because our good friends at the Heritage Foundation are in trouble.
Good.
The president of the Heritage Foundation came out after Tucker Carlson had an interview with Nick Fuentes, voicing his support for Tucker Carlson, who is a friend. And why are you laughing, Kyle?
His good friend Nick Fuentes.
Can we get Nick Fuentes
no,
on
no.
here on the business list?
I don't know about that, actually. There might be some issues with that. But no, so Tucker Carlson is the friend of the president of the Heritage Foundation. They're loyal to their friends, so they're standing by their friends. This caused an uproar among many in the conservative community, with a lot of resignations coming from the Heritage Foundation, various disclosures from former employees. And now the Heritage Foundation, which has helped to craft much of Trump's policy agenda, is facing a lot of backlash, compromising, I think, its place in the conservative movement more generally. There are younger conservatives now who are saying, well, it's time for a new generation of conservatives anyhow. This is a new generation that is more sympathetic to Fuentes, to people like Candace Owens, to Tucker Carlson and others. Then, of course, you have folks who are pushing back against that, saying that these people are not conservative at all. So really, what is happening with the conservative movement, and should we be working to court these people? Because this was actually the argument. I felt like I was in some kind of time loop. This was the argument of the president of the Heritage Foundation, saying, of course we don't like Nick Fuentes and what he stands for, but there are some people who watch Nick Fuentes who might be able to be persuaded and redeemed. And so what I'm trying to do is recruit them and bring them over to the conservative movement. I feel like we could give them some tips as libertarians about how that tends to go.
Well, okay. There is a small minority of people, I guess maybe they're just angry at life. They're feeling disillusioned. Maybe, they're feeling pushed away by the mainstream left or the mainstream right. But they haven't fully embraced the Nick Fuentes ideology yet. They might be able to be brought back. However, you need to be sure that they're actually, you need to know which direction they're going in the pipeline. Are they coming back towards your principles, or are you compromising your principles in order to try to work with them? Because there is a big difference there. You want to see evidence of that they're actually making progress and they're coming around to your ideas.
Yeah,
I think.
And sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I think first of all, it's why you don't have friends, because all these people are accused of being friends with Nick Fuentes. So you just don't have friends.
I agree with that. Yeah, that's good advice.
But the other thing is these people are already in the conservative movement. This is what the conservative movement is. It's a conglomerate of a whole bunch of different ideologies and views that have come together to support Donald Trump. Nick Fuentes is in there. I don't see the problem with it. The Heritage Foundation a couple of years ago was throwing a tantrum because people were saying bad things and wanting to end the monarchy in England. So they're not really people that I would say is very classical liberal in the sense anymore. They've lost the plot. They've went back to being the old Dixiecrat conservatives of yesteryear. They don't have anything in common with conservatives anymore, like the Buckley types. They've lost the plot on that. So I don't really know what they're arguing about or what they're upset about.
Yes.
I think they're upset about losing imagined primacy, right?
They're mad about whatever they need to be at the moment.
No, but there's a good point, right? So the Trump family is in charge of the Republican Party and will be for the next 15 years. Again, that's what happens when the party becomes about the candidate and about just having the candidate win. no matter what. Then the party stops talking about ideology. The candidate becomes the sole bearer of the ideology. And so now the ideology of the Republican Party is Trumpism. You don't need a conservative think tank like the Heritage Foundation. Because what are they doing? They are retrofitting ideology around Trump's preferences. It is absolutely backwards. It is absolutely backwards.
Well, you can claim
The
anything
policy
is conservative now, right? You just slap that label on it.
Yeah. The policy preferences are conditioned materially. Ideology is more enduring, hardware, right? And I think right now we're watching the conservative movement go backwards and saying, okay, well, instead of using ideology to challenge the policy preferences that we might have, we are using policy preferences and retrofitting ideology around it.
Have conservatives ever really stood for anything anyway? Like, doesn't seem like much of a loss
in
here.
theory, like you read Conscience of a Conservative, like Buckley had something,
earlier,
you know. Buckley, I would say, was ideological. There were a few folks who were ideological. I think, and honestly, neocons probably were ideological.
Yeah, no, I mean, they just thought that they really did believe in spreading democracy, and they did believe in the Democratic Republic here. They just thought they could spread it at the point of a gun across the world, and they thought it would actually work. But they do believe in it, and that's why they oppose Trump. Like Dick Cheney,
Right.
I think there's a real reason why he would oppose Trump. I think he really believed in spreading democracy, both here and abroad.
Yeah. I think Trump is about spreading his preferences. And again, there's a difference between principles and preferences. A lot of theories like to conflate these, and they are not the same. You can easily conflate these as a non-critical thinker, but there is a difference. And right now we are seeing principles being sacrificed for preferences.
And most of his preferences are White House decorations.
Yes, and ballrooms.
Which is what any good tyrant will do. They will redecorate their palace, I guess.
Yep. We have as well we have a verdict from the Judicial Committee of the Libertarian Party in regard to the Special Investigatory Committee
so this is the end of it,
appeal thereof.
Finally, right? And the people who
No.
really want to get that overturned are gonna
No.
accept the decision and move on with their lives.
We've got at least
finally,
another
right?
season of this. No.
Yeah. No, I think we've been renewed for another season. Absolutely. We did hear, by the way, and this comes from Mike Seebeck. This is a quote: 3 days after the hearing was concluded, petitioner Roos, that's Hector Roos, attempted to influence the Judicial Committee's deliberations by contacting them and offering more information to them in the form of a thank you note. Petitioner Roos was soundly rebuffed by the JC chair and told to cease such attempts at tampering with the JC after the hearing occurred, and the deadline for presenting all evidence is passed is both unprofessional and unethical, and does not bode well for the petitioner. Future petitioners and respondents would do well to not engage in such behavior. At the bare minimum, it is bad optics and indicative of desperation, and at maximum, it is equivalent to jury tampering. So you might say that petitioner Roos was told to cease hectoring. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome.
All right, that's
he did.
it.
He hectored the
I'm never speaking to you people again.
He hectored the JC. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't give him that advice.
As long as the JC doesn't hector and back at him in the same way as Kramer from Seinfeld, everything will be fine.
So what are your predictions? My prediction is that he refiles this. There was one of the opinions that gives him just a little bit of leeway that I think he'll try to refile this and they'll try it again.
Yeah. Well, it's Tarnoff's opinion,
Yeah.
right? Or he says that, Tarnoff actually goes through several concerns with the LNC's process and says that with regard to the issues themselves, as a basis for determination, the lack of certainty of their merit combined with the fact that they were not raised by appellants precludes them from being used as a basis to overturn any decision of the LNC. So he basically says, look, all of these things that I listed as Tarnoff that were wrong with the LNC procedurally, you didn't mention Hector. So back to the drawing board. And I don't know if he's intending to say that or not, but it can easily look like go back to the drawing board, submit, an appeal, and then cite these offenses instead of something ephemeral and weird like we have a statement of principles and the LNCs are big nasty meanies and went against the statement of principles by conducting their investigation in this manner, which was essentially their argument. In case people haven't guessed, the decision, or that rather the report was upheld. The censures.
Basically, it was we agree she committed the crimes, and we think it's cool. We think it's great, but she shouldn't be. She shouldn't be held liable for it.
Right.
I mean, Hector, their whole thing was that Freedom Calls, that they didn't do the due diligence in tracking down the documents that I gave them, which I'm pretty sure they did. And then later on, they admit that Freedom Calls is their company.
Yeah. Yeah, Jake, sorry, go on, Kyle.
Angela McArdle has repeatedly said that the things in the document happened, but they weren't wrong because there was no other option than to continue having Austin do it.
Right. They offered a service at a discount, so therefore it's okay. And also they lost money.
The problem with their discount is it's like your typical store's Christmas discount, right?
Is okay if you don't actually make a profit.
We can form a business and you just bring in a whole bunch of money for me and I will buy cars, I will buy plane tickets. We will make it. We will lose money on it. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I'm thinking I should just start like a Ponzi scheme. And as long as I don't actually make a profit and I fail at doing it, should be
as long as
legal,
I spend all the money.
Yeah,
then
as long
it's
as
fine.
It's legal. I can be like, I didn't make a profit, you guys, so I didn't do anything wrong here.
If I lease a Mercedes with that money and show a loss and maybe a small airplane, yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, the argument was, yes, I did the thing, but because I didn't make money from the thing and the thing was unsuccessful, then it's not a problem.
I'm sorry, just because you're really bad at defrauding an organization.
Well, and Austin Martin's the one calling us a socialist. I'm not the one who's advocating that people go broke in businesses. It's not fun.
Yeah, no valuable service. No valuable call centers. So yes, I guess I was going to ask what's the likely outcome of this. Jake, you've sort of been in this from the beginning, or at least you've been following this from the beginning since you broke the story around it. Do you have any special thoughts?
I sincerely apologize to everyone who's had to sit through the LNC meetings, the JC meetings.
You did this to us.
Reading the 500 pages of reports that come out. I'm sorry.
You should.
Yeah, I
be.
mean,
I didn't think we'd still be talking
having...
about it 11 months, from when I broke
Did you really
story.
not? I mean, you've been in the Libertarian Party for a while.
We'd be perfectly happy having Maha run the party.
Well, that's the new thing, right? I mean, Angela's asking Maha to come in and run for office as a libertarian and drop out and endorse Republicans. That's her new scheme that she's got going on, which I thought would be a bigger scandal, but we're still talking about her embezzlement. I can't believe that someone would want to go out there and constantly talk about how they stole money. That's what I don't get. I think at some point public relations usually try to bury the bad news, and they're out there just yelling about it like, oh yeah, here it is.
She's doing the Trump thing. No. It was the best plan. It was the greatest plan. I did exactly what all the. Yeah, it's fucking wild. Again, this is something we've talked about before, and I hate that we're talking about fucking McArdle again. Every time we have to mention her, it's a waste of everyone's life. But
I was the one who would have the convention team to be Freedom Calls, so don't look at me.
Oh, I mean, I'm not bringing up McArdle in Freedom Calls. I'm making Freedom ring. Oh, fuck. What was I going on about?
You said that you hated bringing up the person who is in charge of the convention theme's namesake. Eponymous.
I was responding to Jake's comment, and now I'm thinking about the convention because of some jerk.
You heard it here first. Kyle has the memory of a goldfish.
Blah, blah.
Now, I do think that they try to get this thing thrown out at convention next. That will be their next step. They will try to get the convention body to throw this out. And
Ain't happening.
No, when that fails, I mean, I
I
don't.
think it's just a tradition now. LNC meetings, the first thing they do is they vote on the SIC report.
So I'm.
But yeah, it's going to be a tradition now going forward for in-person
Just how they open it
national
up.
conventions. Also, like, national conventions, we vote on whether or not to accept the SIC report. It'll just be it'll be a tradition.
I don't know how long.
I
I can
actually
keep this thing going on.
unironically want that now.
Yeah, no, I
So-
think that's great.
Like in 10 years, are we still going to be talking about? I show up at a
Yes.
convention, like that's the guy right there that.
Has wasted all this time. So I'm just saying, if anyone, and this is a threat, if anyone makes the fucking motion to throw the SIC out on the floor at Grand Rapids, I don't care who it is. I am making a motion to have you removed from the party.
What if it's
I
me?
want to make that motion because I want to talk about the embezzlement before we vote on the LNC. I'm not really going to make the motion, but it just from.
I'm just saying,
a
I
strategic
am making the motion
standpoint-
that person's out of the party.
What if it's me?
What if I make the motion?
Yeah.
You're gone. Fuck you.
From a strategic standpoint, if they want to bring up the embezzlement in front of the entire body to make sure the entire body knows, well, that's more power to them, I guess. It isn't.
Oh no. Angie from Michigan has pointed out we'll be talking about this forever. And if anyone knows what it looks like to be talking about a controversy forever, it is the folks in Michigan hates.
Yeah, no. When is the job in the Trump administration going to start? Has she taken the job? I thought, didn't she resign almost a year ago for this job?
Yeah, the hiring process just takes so long, and now we've got a government shutdown. That's
Well, when they've got to do a
God
background
knows
check
how
and
long.
then you've embezzled, it's a little bit difficult.
I mean, but shouldn't Trump be willing to give her a pardon though?
You'd think so, but I mean,
He
I
Fun
has
don't,
his
fact,
personal cell phone
president-
number, from what I've heard.
The president cannot pardon non-federal crimes.
Woo!
This would be under DC law, and thereby not the president's.
Oops.
So her only hope here then is to be convicted of some kind of federal felon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her plays are to continue saying that it's a good thing, because she's already admitted to it, or to make the play of get convicted and Daddy Trump over here is going to get me out of this.
Except he doesn't know who
It's
she is.
Wild.
He'll be like, who? Yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't even know to sign the pardon. He won't pardon her. I do find that funny. Speaking of pardons, I don't know if you saw this, that Trump's been going on and on about how Biden didn't know who he was pardoning, and they asked Trump about someone he pardoned, and like, I don't know them.
It's fantastic.
You know, so it's possible that he could just sign a paper that has her. Maybe she just tells everyone she's been pardoned, and people believe it.
That could, well, I mean, like at least some of the Mises leadership will.
I freed Angela McArdle. I mean, she'll just be going around
This is
bragging
our
about
victory
that.
lap. Kyle, you were telling me before we went on, you were reading something from the sandwich thrower. Or there was
Yes.
okay. So cue that up because I wasn't really listening because you were talking.
Oh man, let me find it.
I'm
This
wearing
is
my
the greatest
"Don't
thing.
Bread on Me" shirt for the occasion, which you can find
This
at
is-
LP Alliance merch.
Which I would love to pull up, but for some reason our store integration is currently broken on here, so I will get that fixed someday.
It already the Apple Pay option has been broken for a while, by the way. I tried to use it and it kept rejecting my payment. I had to enter all the details.
For shame.
Let's see. Border Patrol. Man, I wish you had mentioned this one earlier.
Yeah,
Um,
well, you mentioned it before we went on, so I thought you were gonna have it queued up. What, do you close browser tabs? Are you one of those monsters who actually closes browser tabs?
I have
usually
so many
have
hundreds of tabs open
500 or so.
that I can't
can't-
find them anyway.
I can't close it. What if I need to open it again?
The thing is,
I
I
mean-
can't even find where my tab is, so I just open another version of it anyway.
Yeah.
And yet, but then it gets to the point though where having to go through the tabs and close them is such a major time-consuming
Undertaking.
task
Yeah.
that
yeah.
you don't feel
Here
like
it is.
doing it.
Okay, what are we talking about, Kyle?
So, Border Patrol agent Gregory Larimore walked through the courtroom to laughter about the baseball pitch of a sub-throw, as another witness had put it. Larimore said he could, quote, feel it through his ballistic vest, and that it, quote, exploded all over him after the subway stack hit him. He said that he could smell onions and the mustard on his uniform,
Mustard gas, yeah.
and that he even had an onion string hanging by his police radio later that night. That fast food mustard, he said, stained his shirt. Can you believe this?
How do you go through that with a straight face? How do you not just be like, drop the charges?
Again, we need common sense sandwich control. Okay? No one should have to
Mom,
suffer
Donnie
the way this guy
advocate-
has suffered.
Don't worry, Rose. Between the the not real communism and the state-run grocery stores, we will have sandwich regulations out the wazoo there. You will not be able to throw a sandwich in New York any longer.
Tactical assault sandwiches.
This is sad, though, isn't it? I mean, the Pam Bondi made such a big deal about this. Now it's just anarchy, lawlessness out there. People just don't respect the people in the Border Patrol uniforms. It's
Good.
sad.
If you're watching
Don't
this and you're in
you know
Border
they
Patrol,
just-
I don't respect you.
Don't you know they just want to get home to their families at the end of the day?
That would imply that they were able to like find someone to love them.
Which makes
I
me
just-
have serious lack of respect for the person willing to love them. I'm sorry, how
imagine-
desperate were you?
Like, I haven't watched the full testimony. I just read the testimony that's in the news articles from earlier. But I just imagine that, like, he's up there and he's like, you know how terrible mustard gas is? Well, this was a mustard liquid, and it was all over me. Everyone knows liquid, so much denser than gas, so much more dangerous. Like, are you fucking kidding me? He stained my shirt with that mustard. He needs to go to prison. He was mean. Also, if you're a Border Patrol agent and you've been moved to DC, you done fucked up. That's really far from the border you're supposedly protecting. Because everyone knows
promotion, Kyle.
that Border Patrol's job is to stop brown people. Like, everyone knows that's what they're for. And everyone's just like, no, it's not a race thing. It's like, yes, it is. You hate Mexicans. We know what you're claiming. I'm mad. Mad Kyle is mad.
So mid. All right. So, with that,
Matt. So, Matt.
do you have other announcements? Phil Ryan has a fantastic piece in the Torch about what LPA is doing and where LPA is going. Who are we and why are we here? And we also have published another one today, another account of the Colorado Convention from the vice chair of LP Colorado himself. What else?
We missed it. Hannah
Do we
Goodman
have?
joined the Democrats.
Oh yeah,
There we
were supposed
go.
to talk
Hannah
about this
Goodman
last week
joined.
before Kyle sabotaged everything.
The Democrats, and perhaps that was why Kyle began chewing on the wires in anxiety. Hannah Goodman's joined the Democrats. I send my condolences to the Democrats, but they deserve this, quite frankly.
I may have
I'm just
messaged
wondering
Jared
how much
Polis and
they're
asked
gonna
him to take some more
tolerate.
people.
So I've got an embarrassing thing to mention here.
How embarrassing.
It's pretty embarrassing.
Do you have a crush on Hannah Goodman?
No. Jared Polis.
Yeah,
and,
I suspected this
Fanfics
for
crush
a
about
on
Kyle
Jared
and Hannah
Polis.
Goodman.
Jared Polis and Jack Posick was his name.
Posobiec?
So yeah, same person in my head. They're opposites, but same person in my head. It's just like someone I don't take seriously. Go on.
Jack Posobiec looks like a member of the Mises Caucus.
I don't know what they
He's
look
got
like.
that look.
I've never seen either of these
I'm
people.
just saying. Okay, go on. Tell the story.
That was it.
That you get them confused?
Yeah.
Jared Polis and Jack Posobiec?
Yeah.
Because their initials are JP?
Yes, that's clearly it. No, because they have like stupid ass takes and people get angry at them. It's like, whatever. It's one of those. Whatever. That's it.
Why did Hannah Goodman join the Democrats? As a question for the ages. She's now claiming that she's a Truman Democrat, which I mean, if
I thought
If
the
you
yeah,
wanna pick-
Democrats, you think they'd be too woke for her?
I'm a
liking?
Theodore Roosevelt bull moose too,
exactly. I'm a Woodrow Wilson
Oh.
libertarian.
I like
is
Ike.
the most
Bring back the kitchen
I was compared
cabinets.
to Ike recently. Yeah,
I mean, Donald
no,
Trump is a
why didn't-
'90s Democrat, so maybe that's kind of what she's going for.
Is he a 90s Democrat?
Yeah.
He's just Donald Trump.
He's a '90s Democrat.
I think he's so much worse than a 90s Democrat.
I mean,
Bill
Rose,
Clinton was a 90s Democrat. He's basically a Republican now.
right? Yeah.
but Rose being from New York, it's close enough to New York City. She's dealt with Donald Trump her entire life. Can't get
Fair.
away from it. She knows what he is.
I've toured the
Rose.
Trump Tower before. I remember I'm like,
sorry
this
for
is
your loss.
gaudy and tacky as hell.
Everything he does. Okay, so
I just remember him being this annoying reality TV host. I'm like, why are all these women fawning over him on his reality show? I was a kid when I thought this, and I'm like, why are all these women pretending to be attracted to him when it's clearly not for his looks?
oh, I hope Nick Sarwark is correct on this. There's never been a rumor I hope to be truer. Rumor has it the GOP told her that she wasn't welcome after her inability to control LPCO. I so hope that's true.
If you can get us a source on that, then we want to talk with them.
Oh yeah.
I'd like for that to be true, but you know,
Either that or she
I
was
have more
sent by them.
questions.
She's like, they were like, just do to the Democrats what you did to the Libertarian Party.
I mean,
Promotion for you.
there we go. Maybe they're
Hey, I
paying her.
might-
Like they could be
I
paying.
could actually get behind this if they want to do this in New York too.
I did send
As from
Sure.
one party control state to another.
I asked Jared Polis if the Democrats would be kind enough to take some other people. He did not message me back though, so I'm a little bit disappointed. I have a list of people the Democrats would be happy to take.
You heard it here first. Jake is making lists of people.
To send to the Democrats.
I
yeah.
thought it would be
Orders
me
lists.
personally. I thought I was going to be the one making the lists, but I guess not. All right. Yes. Thank you for reminding me about Hannah Goodman joining the Democrats. So what? She lives in. Oh dear. Lives in Bobert's district. If that helps you understand what she's trying to do. Does she think? Look, Bobert is not on a very high level, but does she think that she's on Bobert's level?
Look,
Oh, who would
She's
you
got-
vote for in the race between Hannah Goodman and Robert? Oh,
The bullet.
okay. I actually have a take for this. They're both terrifically incompetent, but people know who Lauren Boebert is, and that's a negative. So I vote for Hannah Goodman. Like between those two, you take you go ahead and you take Hannah Goodman because she'll be off by the next time because no one will know who she is.
Right, and
find
also I suspect
McDonald's
Lauren
owner and
Boebert
have
at least
better
knows
stuff.
how to notice
But-
a meeting properly.
But see, Goodman has a history with the Libertarian Party, and so I wouldn't want people conflating Goodman with the Libertarian Party, so I might vote for Boebert.
Fair enough. Nick continues that she ran in 2024 as the L candidate in the race
The more wise than one.
to try to throw it to Boebert. So if she tries to get the Democrat endorsement, that would be hilarious.
so she's going to do a Liberty pledge with the Democrats and then just drop out. I like this.
I'd go to a movie with Lauren. Joe, it was a stage show.
A children's show, right?
Yes.
Well, I mean, when you're
Yes,
looking
it
on the
was.
stage, that's what makes a children's show. Like they have to focus on the stage because there's nothing for the children in the audience, and there's nothing for the children in the audience of this show. So we will bid you adieu. Without further ado, do support the LPA if you want to get involved. Join us on our Discord. It's discord.gg/LP-Alliance. You can follow us on social media. We are on X at LP_allies. Support us in our goal to get 100 people to the convention paid for completely. That's travel, that's lodging, that's all your expenses taken care of.
Hopefully your
except for
booze,
except
if we
for the
can get things
minibar.
going.
We might have booze involved in our suite. That is true.
And
And
there's one other thing. We have some of the LPA members have decided that we're going to attempt to get a gun range to allow us to take over for a day and have an LPA range day.
get a gun range to allow us to take over with no further no further explanation. Sounded a little bit ominous.
Good. It should. But there are many LPA members who have pre-ban weapons and weapons that are very fun all around. And so we're intending to bring those out, fee for ammunition, and ask for a donation to LPA, and otherwise come have fun. That's the intention that's going to be coming. So far, there's at least 4 of the LPA members who are bringing fun guns. So assuming that sounds like a fun thing to you, pay attention. We'll be giving you more information about it soon.
Do subscribe to The Torch, thetorch.media, read The Torch, write for The Torch. We're posting new things and getting great content from new writers all the time. You can find our video suite on The Torch as well. Good. Checkout has been changed. Thank you, Kyle. And get our merch, the LP Alliance store. As always, our movement is stronger with you, so do come and join. We will see you next week. Until then, we are the Business List.
We're gonna say anarchy, and we're gonna say anarchy. Full transparency. Now I wanna see anarchists on the business list. Destroy!